Hi, I'm Mike Ruth. I'm the superintendent at Iroquois, and I wanted to make a little short video to kind of cover the things concerning the opt out. And I know that's a discussion around both all Cavour, Yale, and Iroquois, as well as maybe some other areas of our school district, and wanted to kind of go over some key points and just give you information, not trying to tell you how to vote, just trying to give you some information so that you can vote with good information backing you up. So first of all, we did have three back in. Let me start with this. Back in June, the school board at Iroquois voted to opt out of our tax limitation that's set by the state. We currently do that now. I want to make sure that's known, and I'll probably say that two or three more times. But we currently have a $750,000 opt out that's currently going on. We have only taken the maximum amount 1 year. This opt out that we're voting on August 1st will replace that opt out. It's not an additional on top of the current opt out. It will replace the $750,000 opt out, and we're only going to be asking for $500,000 this time. But what I want to do today, and I don't want to take a lot of time because I know you're busy, is just summarize the meetings that we've had, talk about any questions that came up at those meetings and things that I've heard around the communities, things that we're working on to improve our school as we move forward, and then steps in the future funding wise. So first of all, I want to just say that I love our school. We have a great school. We do lots of great things. We have our issues too, just as many school districts in the state do. A lot of school districts in the state opt out of the tax limitation just because of the expenses that you have at your school with salaries, trying to be competitive, and transportation costs, and a variety of things. But so we're not the only district in the state that opts out. Many do. Um, but at our school, we have a great staff, very caring staff. They care for our kids. We have lots of kids that need attention, need help, and I think our staff does a great job of doing that. We have a great FFA program. We've had that for 5 years now. It keeps getting better and better each year, and we're hoping that that continues. We are combining that with SHOP this year. Mr. Hen retired, and so we are combining SHOP and FFA into one program this year. And the SHOP has been renovated and cleaned up and just remodeled a little bit, not a great amount, but some to make it a little bit more of a learner-friendly environment. We have a great HOSA program. Miss Muller, Daphne Muller, runs that program and does a good job. We are recognized around the state and nation as having a great HOSA program. Our music program is fantastic. Mrs. Decker does a great job in there. She's been here several years now. And Mr. Glott, Scott Glott, will be helping her in the band side. We are currently co-oping in sports with Lake Preston, and we think that's going in the right direction. We're going to have some bumps along the way there, but overall, we think our sports program is going in the right direction as well. And then, as I mentioned, we have a great staff at our school, and hope that that continues as well. So at our opt-out meetings, I'm just going to summarize a little bit. We talked about lots about school funding. I don't want to get too in depth with that. If you ever want to talk about school funding, I certainly am open to that. I have handouts to share and information to share, but I don't want to get too in depth because I don't want to take a lot of time here. But we talked about the general fund, the special ed fund, and the capital outlay fund. Those are the three basic funds that you have in school funding. What we're opting out for is in the general fund. That's where most of our expenditures are, with salaries, benefits, health insurance, dental insurance, those types of things, and then also our transportation costs. So that's where we're opting out of, is the general fund. The opt-out allows us to ask for more money from our taxpayers than is currently allowed by law. So it asks for a little bit in addition to make our budget work. And that's basically what the opt-out is. The current one is for $750,000 max. We're asking for $500,000 max, and we don't anticipate taking that maximum very many times, hopefully never. I also want to talk about a lot with the addition to the front of the school. That seems to be a point of concern and discussion around the communities. The addition to the front of the school is to help make a more secure and safe entry into our building. Right now, you come in the building and you can go either way, left or right. What the secure entry will do is you have to come into the reception area. You get, cleared to go into the building for whatever reason you have there, and that will be much better than the current situation we have. That has nothing to do with the opt-out. That is ESSER money, which is COVID money, federal dollars that were given to the districts around the nation. We're trying to use that for that entry. We've used it for several other 9 or 10 other expenses that we covered at our opt-out meetings. I can give you that list if you want to know, but we've used a lot of that COVID money, and one of the big things we want to do is make that entry more secure. But that has nothing to do with the opt-out. Totally separate money, totally separate funding. We'll use those COVID dollars and then capital outlay dollars as well to fund that project. I realize it's not great timing, but that is, we had to use the money by the end of 2023. And so we're hoping to get that at least begun to use part of the funds for 2023 and then the rest of the funds for 2024, which will be allowed under the ESSER monies. As I mentioned a couple times, our current opt-out is for $750,000. We are asking for $500,000 in the next opt-out. Again, it's not additional money. It's replacing the current money. So it'll just be a continuation of the opt-out that we currently have, just for a lesser amount. And it will have little or no effect on your current levies. Matter of fact, we anticipate them going down a bit as we go forward. But there won't be a great increase. If it's an increase, it'll be very little to what you're currently paying. And I want to also emphasize that the Iroquois School District levies are consistently less than other levies around the districts around us. We had a slide that showed that, and even with our opt-out, our levies are less than other levies around our district, around our school district. As I mentioned to start with, we do have some concerns. Our achievement scores are not where they want to be. We consistently try to improve those, and we'll continue to do that. We do have a school performance index that we do very well at statewide, but that could be better as well. So those are the things that we're working on, and we know that that's a concern of our citizens, of our community, and of our parents. And we are working diligently to try to improve those scores. So as I wrap up here, I didn't want to take a lot of your time. As I said a few times here, I wanted to just emphasize a couple main points, and that is that this opt-out is not additional money. It is just a continuation of the current opt-out that we have in place, but for lesser amounts. And I also want to emphasize that we're not the building addition is not associated with the opt-out in any way. I will say also that a concern that came up in that regard was that why are we doing that and not other things? There are many things we could do with. We did a survey a few years ago, and out of that survey came some ideas, and one of the ideas was to do the front of the building and make a more secure entrance for our students' safety, our staff safety, and as we go through these times in our world that are sometimes unsafe, we want to make it as safe as possible. Some other things that we did with that ESSER money was a dishwasher. We did some heating and cooling units in some buildings. We replaced ceiling tiles, windows, and doors. Those were just a few of the things that I can think of off the top of my head. So it wasn't just the front of the building, but that's just that'll be a big thing and a big change. And we think it'll really enhance the environment of our school. It'll make a very definitive entrance to our building, which is a concern that's been expressed over the years. And we think it'll make it more secure, and people will have to filter through that entryway to come to our building. That's really all I have to talk about. Again, I'll say, if you have any questions about the opt-out, the vote is August 1st. There's polling places in Cavour, Yale, and Iroquois. If you don't know where to vote, call the school. Jill can help you find that. Absentee voting is going on right now. If you need to do that, you can contact Jill in our office to do that as well. The polling is August 1st, as I said, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on that day. We encourage you to vote, be involved. And again, if you have any questions, the school number is 605-546-2210. And my cell phone is 605-380-2062. And then my email, mike.ruth@k12.sd.us. Reach out anytime to ask a question, and I will try to get you an answer. I hope this helps. I hope it clears things up. If it raises more questions, please reach out at any time and get the information you need so you can vote effectively on how you think you need to vote. Obviously, our school district encourages you to vote yes to help our finances, but you need to make that decision, and I hope this information helps you to do that effectively. Have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, and that's all I have. So as I close, we are Iroquois, and go Chiefs. Thanks, everybody.